Well, outside we have a lot of sunshine, but we also have a few more clouds in the sky, which is a good sign that we can at least form some things that'll lead to, unfortunately, it won't cool us down, but it does lead us to having some rain chances later on. But we have our south to southwest wind at around 7 miles per hour. And then with all of the wildfire smoke north of us in Minnesota and over towards Wisconsin, they're dealing with the most hazardous air quality at this moment. We're still just in that moderate stage, which of course is not a good sign. And unfortunately for tomorrow, it probably will increase to that first unhealthy stage, which will be that orange color for the air quality alerts. But we're seeing an extension further westward for Saturday. As that descends southward, it will be overnight into Saturday night into Sunday morning. And some of these darker, more dense spots could leak a little further west as well. Could set us up to having an increase in our air quality concerns for Saturday night through most of Sunday. But after that, there are some potential signs of that starting to improve and moving away from us. Now, highs yesterday only got to around 90 to 91. We did have Ames reach 92, but today it's more likely that we're going to hit around 93 to 94, but still not seeing a huge jump in the heat index. Isolated storms are possible, so that could give a few areas a moment of relief, but unfortunately, it will just spike the humidity in those spots as well. But now everybody's between 70 and 74. Carroll has warmed up to 70 after being down to 68, but most of us have been sitting right around 72 to 74 this entire morning and haven't had that last minute cool down. But for heat index later on, unfortunately, upper 90s is very likely. And then on Saturday, some evidence that will be right around the 100-degree mark. Maybe not seeing everybody reach that, but there will be a few isolated spots that get to around 100 to 102. Now we see the front pass, and that does take the humidity down. That still allows us to climb to around 90 to 91 on Sunday, but we at least see the humidity drop off. Now that will lead us into, unfortunately, a pretty toasty setup for Monday. But then there's another front on the way. But for now, radar is clear. We've seen any of that last-minute rainfall overnight dry up. Now this afternoon, we could see some more convection-driven storms. Essentially, they're pop-up storms. They form, and they rain themselves out all in one location. It's not exactly a clear picture, but we are seeing a lot of evidence of it staying further east for today, but still giving a few of us a chance, at least at a few spots. Now on Saturday, this front comes through, and by the time it gets to 80, it's right in the middle of the afternoon, and that is when we'll see maybe some better spots of rainfall taking shape, but ultimately nothing that's going to stick around for an extended period of time. The main thing is we get this north to northeast wind, which will start drying things out and keeping our setup a little less humid for Sunday. But Saturday is still on the verge of being fairly miserable with 94 and also seeing the heat index climb above 100 in a few spots. Now, once we get to Sunday, yes, it's still 70 in the morning, it's still 90 in the afternoon, but we're going to hold at a little more of a tolerable level in terms of the heat index. By Monday, 95, warming up pretty significantly, but now we have our next front. This could bring us a better shot at rainfall, but this ultimately will cool us down, and it starts a week-long cooling trend that puts us down to 82 by Thursday, and now we start seeing a few more clouds moving around, so that will officially take us out of this above-average heat, at least for a week or so. By this weekend, we are getting back into the upper 80s, and that is technically above our seasonal average, but it is still very tolerable. Anytime we can get our overnights to hover around the mid to upper 60s, it's a good sign that we're seeing seasonal weather and not seeing that heat return, at least not yet.
Jace, thank you.